Please remember to subscribe, click like, and click the bell icon for all notifications on this channel. So we finally got to see the debut of the Exalted One on AEW. And also, we're going to see people being deleted as Matt Hardy made his debut on Dynamite as well. So, what do I feel about, you know, about kind of like a reversal of roles? I mean, many people were thinking Matt Hardy was going to be the Exalted One. I personally think it was too obvious. People would have got a kick out of it. I would have too. But right before it happened, I was going, it's not going to be Matt Hardy because that's too obvious. And Matt Hardy, I think, wants to be probably a babyface, not a heel. When I saw Brodie Lee, I knew that wasn't him at first. It wasn't Matt Hardy when you see him in the silhouette talking. And then you hear the voice. Then he reveals himself to be the Exalted One, Brodie Lee, using his name that he used in the Independence before he went to WWE. And I think he fits right in. He's very imposing. He's got a really, really good look to him. And I think that this is what Dark Order needed. They needed somebody who has a recognizable face, someone who everybody can get behind. Yeah, it's definitely a heel faction. Who would get behind a heel faction, but I think that these guys needed a reason for people to care about them. You know what I mean? Honestly, does anybody care about the Dark Order up to now? Now they got Brodie Lee. And I think Brodie Lee brings that legitimacy to their heel faction now. This is a guy who flew under the radar in WWE. Yeah, he was in a lot of high profile moments there, especially as a member of the Wyatt family in WWE. But he was a guy who was just waiting to break out, to be a main eventer, to be a singles wrestler who can definitely, go on his own. But you can definitely see that he would be able to lead a faction himself. And this is his chance. This is his chance. And I'm glad to see him in WWE in AEW. They really misused him in WWE. Going from Luke Harper, then they shortened his name to Harper. They put him and Rowan in as the Bludgeon Brothers, which never really, really took off. And here he is. Not only do we have him signed, but then, we of course saw Lance Archer. We saw that little vignette where he's beating the hell out of all these people in the backwoods somewhere in this small ring. And he's just knocking people out of the ring left and right, showing a lot of brutality. I mean, you see how he was delivering the moves? I remember this guy from way back in TNA, the early days of TNA as Lance Archer. I remember him even when he went by the name of Lance Hoyt. He was in WWE as Vance Archer. They tweaked his name, put a V in there, make it Vance Archer. Part of the rebranding of ECW. Didn't really go nowhere. He had potential. They never used it. Now they got Jake in his ear. And Jake Roberts really is the mouthpiece, kind of like how Paul Heyman is with Brock. Brock doesn't need to talk. Paul does all the talking. Here, same thing with Paul Heyman. I mean, with Jake Snake Roberts. And they're saying that Cody's going to pay. And pretty much, I have a feeling that he's going to attack one of his family members. He's going to do something like that in order to get his attention, because according to Jake, even though he gave him a courtesy. Remember last week where Vance Archer he held him back. I mean, Lance Archer he held him back where he wanted to go in there and go after Cody, and he pretty much said, you pretty much took that and spit in my face, by not taking that as a courtesy. Now it's time for him to pay, as Jake said. Then of course we had the match where we had the advantage at Blood and Guts. You win the match, you get a man advantage. Nick wasn't there; he couldn't be cleared to wrestle, so he wasn't there. So it was a 3-on-3 match. You had Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager against Cody, Matt Jackson, and Hangman Page. And in the end, Santana rolled up Matt Jackson. After Matt Jackson and Hangman Page were looking to do that finisher that they do, that the Bucks do. And Matt Jackson gets rolled up for the pin. So now the Elite have the advantage. How it starts, you got two guys in the ring. They're in there for 5 minutes. The match hasn't started yet. And then the match starts as soon as the 5 minutes has been, has been used up. And then you have another guy come in, and that is where the advantage takes place because now the Elite will be a two-on-one man advantage, right? Two guys were starting first after 5 minutes. It's going to be the Elite that's going to have their first man come in, 2-on-1, and that's going to be for I believe another 5 minutes. You imagine the brutality that the two men are going to do to whoever the Elite, whoever the person is that starts. You think that they had a disadvantage? Even Jericho is so cocky. He was so cocky, like running them down, all this bravado and all that stuff. And then you see a drone, and I recognize the drone from Matt Hardy's delete vignettes and stuff like that. And I'm going, I think this is who I think it is. And then of course we've seen how the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy have been interacting. There was even that burial where they buried the old Matt Hardy so that he could be reborn again. And then all of a sudden we hear music, and then up there, Matt Jackson said, this guy, I got him to do a favor for me. I know him. And then you look up there at the top of the top level there, and there's Matt Hardy. All he does is has his arms out, showing his teeth, fierce and everything. And he starts doing this. Starts doing the delete gesture. And you see those guys, the Elite are pretty worried. Jericho had a look, but then at the same time, he kind of was smiling because I guess he knows what he's about, what Matt Hardy's about. I mean, he definitely knows what Matt Hardy's about. But at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, Matt Hardy's here. All right, you know, let's get it on, right? So now it's evened up now. But I don't know. I think they said that Nick would be, cleared in a few weeks, but I guess not in time for Blood and Guts. I think Blood and Guts is happening this month, March 30th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and they're going to be involved in that match that is like War Games. It's the same platform, the same rules, same ring next two rings next to each other with a bigger cage and closing it. And like I said before, WWE doesn't own the concept of the match, just the name War Games. They can't call it War Games, so they call it Blood and Guts. This was a good, very very good. I gotta say, I think that AEW really did it better than WWE with an empty arena, an empty, venue, because what AEW did is that they put their guys, their wrestlers in the arena. there. There's like maybe 10 in total, but they were spread out. You could tell the heels over on one side, the babyface on the other side, and they were loud. They were boisterous. They were getting into it. They were yelling at the wrestlers in there. Colt Cabana was getting some chops in, getting some hits in. He did that to Kip Sabian, and he did it to Butcher. That's how you do it. WWE needs to take kind of hints from that. They could have at least put some guys in there, and even you had MJF and you had Sean Spears betting on the wrestlers, and they were getting into it. I mean, keep these guys in characters and have them, catcalling to the wrestlers, and even one of the wrestlers, MJF, he distracted the Butcher and the Blade. That's why they lost the match because they were distracted. Because I guess MJF was trying to get him to do something in order to finish the match. And WWE needed to do that. WWE needed to do that to put some people because with them in the ring and all that stuff, it's like just such dead silence. And it would be great to have some reaction. I mean, you can't have a crowd, of course. Everybody's got to be quarantined. They got to be in their homes. They can't be traveling with the travel ban and everything. Understandable. But you got your wrestlers there. At least AEW utilized the guys that were there. Even like you know uh, Brandy Rhodes. She had to go back to her past persona as Eden Styles from WWE ring announcer. She said she would never ring announce ever again, and here she is, reluctantly. I guess. You know. I guess. You know. The regular ring announcer couldn't be there. Justin Roberts couldn't be there. So we had that match. We had of course the Lucha Bros taking on Best Friends. A very very good tag team match, but again, tag team matches tend to be too spotty. A lot of spots on high spots, a lot of just moves that it's just like it seems like it was like they're on repetitive mode. It's like I don't I don't enjoy a lot of the matches at times, especially when it's tag team matches and all they do is they have to get in their spots, and it seems like it's a bit too much when they do it, But Lucha Bros they do get the victory, and then now they're going to be challenged they were challenged actually by Best Friends to a parking lot match, and it's going to happen next week. We had a fatal four way match, and I gotta tell you, the women's thing when they wrestle, it seems like when there's a multi-women match, it's much better. I don't know what it is. They still are very anxious and very tentative, and they still are like hesitant when they perform moves. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to take for the women to kind of get out of that funk, But it was a good match, In the end, Sheeta again wins a match. They're talking about where does she stand in the rankings? Didn't she win a number one contenders match last time? Are you guys just against Sheeta for some reason? Is there something there that you guys aren't giving her a number one contender match? Did she already have that title match on Dark? I don't know. And they're saying that, JR saying, she's going to one day challenge Nyla Rose. Have it already. It should have been announced for next week. You know. But we had other matches as well. And it was really you had the opening, of course, with Cody, addressing the situation, the fact that it's a closed, it was an empty arena, I should say, and addressing the situation with Hangman Page. He brought out Kenny Omega and Matt Jackson, and they're like, there's one person that we need to know. He came out, of course, he had a drink, whiskey, whatever was in his hand, toasted him and said, nodded his head. He goes, "Yeah, I'll be at that match," And he was there with the match a little later on, the match I talked about, and then Matt Hardy came out. But that was my thoughts on AEW Dynamite. Really, really good job on what they did, especially with the fact that it's like with WWE, there's no audience, they didn't have a crowd there, but they did it better. AEW utilized their talent. You hear, sounds and noises and people yelling and talking and stuff like that. And sometimes they were getting involved in the match, and it was great. WWE needs to do that. You know, I'm seeing things that maybe WrestleMania is going to be canceled. It may still be canceled. I'm thinking WWE wait till like June. This whole thing with the coronavirus and all that stuff will not last forever. It's going to be some time, yeah, before the all clear is given. But don't just put on a half-ass show at the PC. It's not going to do the WrestleMania justice. There's some people there that are doing WrestleMania for the first time, and you have also Rhea Ripley and Charlotte for the NXT Women's title. That's going to be the first time at WrestleMania. You're going to waste it at a PC. How about wait? How about wait? Let Tampa still have their WrestleMania. It'll just be later on. 36 years they've been waiting at the 30s, and then it was going to happen at the 36th WrestleMania, and they're not going to have it. It's going to be in Orlando at the PC. But anyway, that was my review and results. My thoughts on AEW Dynamite. I don't know why I went. It kind of connected a little bit, especially with the whole empty arena thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really great. I mean, and the way they did it, the way they presented it. And even though there wasn't a crowd to enjoy it, Matt Hardy's debut and also Luke Harper or now Brodie Lee is really great. He's there as well. And both their debuts were great. It was really an amazing sight. I'm glad they're there. Let's see what happens. What Matt Hardy's going to do. What is he going to be doing now? He's not the leader of the Dark Order, but he's going to be bringing his people with him to AEW. So you got yet another faction that's probably going to come to AEW. He's probably going to spend most of his time in the beginning with the Elite. Who knows? But anyway, again, like I said, that's my video. For those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Also, just as always, I ask for your support and your help. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, share it on any social media platform you have out there. And also subscribe. And if you do, please click the bell icon so you can receive all the notifications whenever I upload a video. And, well, like I said, that's my video. And I appreciate it. And in closing, and as always, take care.